In this episode, we'll share with you our favourite paid air so far on this trip, and it's one where we would have stopped longer had we had the time. We also find a lovely forest site in Belgium as we head towards Amsterdam, which will be our first formal site, but which one was the best? Welcome to the channel. That's Harry, our campervan, and that's me, Jane, and here's Stu, and we love to share with you our van life adventures. We left you in the last episode just arriving at a small village called Vireux-Molhain, stopping at an Aire that we found that's just on the outskirts, and it's in easy walking distance of a few shops. It's a barriered pay-to-enter Aire, and we managed to park on the last front site nestled under a very welcome shade of a tree. The views are, well, you can see what they are, serene, with a large expanse of water nestling in what appears to be a gorge. We think these may be weekend holiday homes, and they've certainly got the view. If you're into your fishing, then this would be a great spot, and it's one that we've marked down as Stu would like to come back to it. After getting the chairs out in the shade, we're able to have a relaxing drink and a good old natter.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
I was just trying to work out whether this is a river or a canal, but Google says it's a canal. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're in the West Midlands.
It's
The canals have shopping trolleys in and bikes. Here you have fish.
I know.
We then try to catch these racing pigeons, or at least I did, but it's pretty tricky as they were so fast, and trying to judge where they come past you isn't always obvious. And we both fail initially.
Yeah, those two are the rogue.
I think I ain't got a clue what they're. That's you.
That's-
That's you sense of direction.
That's the new ones to the group.
Jane and Jane too.
Yeah, it would be
I've got
me.
a clue what they're doing.
Oh, no, they're over here.
One so much wants to join in with the boys, but can't.
Oh no.
Look, here they are.
Oh, that'd be me if I was with that gang.
But with a bit of patience, we managed to get our shot, and we even got a couple of timed fly pasts.
If you're lucky enough, we were fortunate enough to nab this one. Everybody else was on a hookup side because we don't need hookup. So we grabbed the last slot on the front because it wasn't hookup. It was probably one of the better airs we've seen actually so far, I would say.
As the evening sun approaches, other birds start skimming the waters looking for dinner. Now we assume that they are swallows, but let us know if we're wrong.
Well, we've just been talking about things we'd leave behind potentially on the next trip. So I think we've got an outside table that's we don't need. And I think the barbecue will go. We're just not barbecue people, so I think that will go. And then I thought, the table we've got on the inside, if I made an adapted base that's screwed into it, it could be put here.
And you're pleased that your two innovations, as we call them.
The three things I made is the mosquito nets. They were good the other day. They gave us privacy and also kept the flies out, so that worked. And it was relatively quick to put up. I don't think it's worth putting a thing all the way around the edge and attaching it somehow. I think just magnets are good enough in that. The sail is brilliant. I think the sail's really good. It gives you privacy as well as just being able to have the door open because it's private. And also you can have it out as a sail. And the other thing was the fan.
The fan's a bit of it.
Cooling last night was. It'll be interesting tonight actually because it's quite humid tonight.
It's time for tea, and tonight we're having chicken curry. And yes, we forgot to take the end result. So if you imagine that sauce on top of that rice, you'll get the idea of what it looked like.
Zimaga.
As ever, we have a tense game of Rummy Cub. And then Stu puts the Midge net over the kitchen window and also his air circulation fans in to try them out again. Tonight's really humid, but it's also great to be able to sit out late into the evening, and that's something that we haven't done a lot of in Harry, mainly due to the locations we've been. But this is the perfect location for the end of a tiring, hot driving day. Today looks like it's going to be a repeat of yesterday. And it's a shame, as we'd both really love to stop another day. But we're on a timeline to get to Amsterdam. We have a quick walk along the banks of the canal in the early morning sun to find the baguette shop. If you enjoy our channel, please subscribe, as it really helps the channel grow. So please give us a like and a comment, as we really love to hear from you.
Big fish. I don't think you'll see it. Possibly there's another one there. There's the second one coming.
No, they're not.
No, they're lovely. They are. I like them.
And you press the camera and just press identify, and it scans it and it tells me that's a crimson fountain grass, and it's absolutely beautiful. This is just one of the best apps ever.
So we're just having a walk into the town, bit of exercise to find a bakery. I need my daily baguette. It's a beautiful location here in the Ardennes. The canal, it's just so big. It feels very French, whatever that means, but that's it. From what I've seen, it feels very French. The buildings are magnificent. A lot of character to them. The little Aire we stopped last night was really good. It's €10 to get in. That includes electricity. We didn't actually need electricity pitch, and we preferred the location. And you can also get water, ground, a black waste you can dump. There's probably about 10 to 15 motorhomes on. We were the only campervan on there, to be honest. It was a really nice, relaxing evening, to be honest. So it's £8.50, I think it is, in the exchange rate, which is nothing, you know. And I say, if they were in the UK, a lot of people would use them at that price. But no, unfortunately, people feel as though they've got to charge 20 quid, which is crazy. Should be half of that. Greed. And that's because these places are set up, I guess, by the councils, I'm assuming, because you're encouraged to go in and spend your money. We went up to the supermarket last night, and we're going to the local bakery today. Look at the big fish there. They're even bigger. There's another one there.
And we've decided that we are definitely coming back here, as there is a lot more to explore, and Stu wants to do some fishing. So we've marked this place as a definite come back to. So if you're in the area, put it on your list. It's really hot, yeah.
It says it's 27 degrees, but I have to say it feels like it's more like 30 something.
Yeah, it's only 9:30. 9:30?
No, it's later than that. 20 to 11. Where your day's gone.
8. Okay. The sat nav says 8:39.
That's wrong as well. I had to reset the navigation yesterday.
Yeah, it went off on its own.
As it did in Ireland. And
yeah.
So I had to pull over because the arrow was in the middle of nowhere. and have to do a factory reset. Because of that, I'll lose all my
Yeah, that was really annoying.
settings.
But last night it was cool. Those fans that Stu's done worked really well. We're just going to get some water. We've got a 2-hour drive today.
Jane's just gone in for some water for the van, so we've just parked up. That's well jacked up. Ready for off-roading.
We've seen quite a few of these roadside cooked pizza dispensers, and it's definitely something that we'll try out at some point. Now, we haven't done our laundry on this trip yet, but that's only because we plan to do it in Amsterdam. And on we go north towards Amsterdam with a targeted midway one-night stop-off in the centre of Belgium. The morning sun makes the driving really enjoyable. But unfortunately we pass so many places that we'd love to stop and can't. The second half of the journey becomes more urban with dual carriageways and motorways. And unfortunately, what you don't need in a heat wave is to hit a major traffic jam, which is exactly what we do. And as the temperature reaches 30 degrees, lots of vehicles are pulling over with overheating. I absolutely loved this car. It's got a really interesting back to it, and we weren't sure if it was some sort of convertible. Thankfully, there's always something to look at, to take your mind off the traffic jam, like these colourful sides to the road. I have to say that it looks a bit scary in the outside lane, although fortunately traffic is slow today and help is on hand. And we play Spider Watch, as we seem to have a constant flow of visitors that keep turning up around the mirrors. We're fairly sure that they've been to England and Ireland already, and now they're being deposited around Europe. And it looks like this one has evaded us so far, so his journey continues for now.
30 degrees centigrade. My legs burn, my arms burn.
Finally, the jam unjams. And we have no idea why it even happened in the first place. But the draft coming in is really welcome. Eventually, we reach the more pleasing greenery of a nature reserve that's just north of Schenk. It's in the middle of a forest area. Stu books in with the owner, and it's got the usual facilities of waste points and this little centralised communal area. And you can actually order breakfast packs and takeaways if that's something you'd like to do. The cost is just €10 for the night, in a non-powered pitch, which is what we had. But just to let you know that if you ever visit here, there's no toilet or shower block, so you need to be self-contained. There looks to be lots of walks and cycle rides in this area. But instead, after a hot day, we simply wanted to find the shade around Harry. And perhaps with more time and lower temperatures, we would have explored it more.
Most essential thing is broken.
Yeah, the bunting.
The bunting.
Stu's gutted. That's the first thing he bought for Harry was the bunting.
It's the bloody heat there.
Yeah, it's definitely the heat. It's just... it's frazzled the bunting as well as us.
You must stick out in my bleeding fingers.
I'd have to drive you to the hospital in Harry with your bloody fingers under your bunting. These have been a godsend, these fans, as you can see them.
It's a really nice little site and location, and we'll highly recommend it, although to be fair, the Aire the night before has been our favourite.
So today we're finally off to Amsterdam to meet the newest little member to our clan, although I've met him before, but this is Stu's first time to see him. I think it's about a 2-hour journey, so hopefully it'll be a bit better than it was yesterday, because it was too much yesterday. The heat was too much.
A quick splash and dash for fuel, and we have another day of being on the road.
I thought I had an electrical or bulb issue on Harry with the lower side lights, as one of them appeared to be off and the other on when I wasn't expecting it. And as ever, as it was on my mind, I just couldn't let it go. So I managed to find a Ford garage on the way to Amsterdam, and we will call in on the way on the off chance they can take a quick look at it, and if nothing else, just settle my mind.
We've just diverted to a Ford garage. I was waiting for Stu to come out. As it turned out, we needn't have, but we didn't know that at the time. It's always better to be safe than sorry, isn't it? Especially when you're in another country. I'm really not enjoying the heat. For someone that lived in Australia for all those years. Finally.
Well, that was a little embarrassing, as there was nothing wrong, and I've now discovered that we have cornering lights. Who knew? They apparently come on and off as you corner, so what I thought was an inconsistency with seeing lights on and off was just normal behaviour. It's only taken me nearly 5 years to find that out. Right, we need to get to Amsterdam and get settled in on the campsite that we've booked. With a few wrong turns, we managed to navigate the various ring roads that go around Amsterdam.
Well, we're going to leave it there for now as we approach the campsite in Amsterdam, and we'll give you a complete review of the site and also of Amsterdam as a location in the next episode. And establish, is Amsterdam all that they say?